All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into something pretty cool.
Okay.
Um, Imagine like all your most valuable business info,
Uh-huh.
you know,
Hmm.
contracts, designs, client data, tucked away like in a digital vault,
Okay.
protected by like cutting edge tech.
Yeah.
That's what Treasure Map Inc. is promising.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're aiming to like revolutionize data security,
Okay.
and we've got a mix of their company info, and we actually got like a sneak peek at their platform
Oh,
through a
wow.
demo video.
Nice.
And I got to say, it's pretty exciting stuff.
I bet, especially since it's in beta.
Yeah, exactly. Like this is like bleeding edge.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Definitely intriguing.
yeah.
What really stood out to me is how they're focusing on both physical and digital assets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we're talking everything from contracts and creative work to
Damn.
like even sensitive healthcare records.
That's a real treasure map.
It is.
It's like X
Yes.
marks the spot for anything valuable.
Exactly. And their X marks the spot is blockchain technology.
Oh, blockchain. Okay, I know we hear that word a lot these days, but
Right.
how does that actually translate to better security?
Whoa. You think about like those nightmare scenarios like ransomware attacks.
Right, data breaches.
Exactly. Those happen because traditional systems are vulnerable.
Huh.
Someone can alter or delete the data.
Yeah.
Blockchain tackles that head on.
Okay.
It's like a digital ledger,
Uh-huh.
but it's spread across multiple computers, so it's virtually impossible
Oh, wow.
to sneak in and tamper with the information.
Interesting.
Every change is recorded and linked to the previous one.
Oh, so it's like a chain.
It's an unbreakable chain.
So if someone tries to like alter a contract or steal sensitive information,
Right.
they can't just like erase their tracks.
Exactly. It's going to leave a very obvious trail.
Huh.
That level of immutability, it makes it incredibly secure.
Wow.
And it helps build a transparent, auditable history
Okay.
of every action taken.
So for industries like healthcare,
Huge.
finance, even creative agencies,
Big time, yeah.
this is a game changer. Absolutely.
And speaking of seeing things in action, that demo video really brought this to life. I was surprised at how easy it was to create an account
Right.
and upload files. It's just like drag, drop, boom.
Super easy.
They're in the vault.
Yeah, it seems like they put a lot of thought into the user experience.
Yeah.
Which is crucial because you don't want security to feel like a burden
Right.
or require a PhD to figure out.
Exactly. And then there's that whole access license system.
Yes.
Which gives you like granular control over who can see your data.
Right.
You can even limit access to specific users' set time limits.
Very
And
good.
sharing files across different email domains was so smooth.
I think that cross-domain functionality is a huge plus.
Yeah,
Especially for collaborative work.
for sure.
You're no longer restricted by those clunky workarounds just to share a file with someone outside your company.
Right.
It streamlines those workflows
Yeah.
without compromising security.
So the potential for team collaboration within these secure, contained environments.
It seems huge, but what does that term even mean, like in a practical sense?
Imagine like a virtual vault
Okay.
where your data is encrypted and only accessible with specific permissions.
So it's like giving someone a key to one room in your house.
Exactly. Instead of the entire house.
Okay.
That's the level of control.
So no more worrying about, someone accidentally accessing files or projects they shouldn't see.
Exactly.
That alone could save a lot of headaches.
Yeah, sure.
But you did mention this is still a beta version.
Right.
Are there any features that are still under development?
Good point. They're still working on things like a detailed access history log
You okay?
and even more granular control features.
So that history log will be valuable for auditing and compliance.
Especially imagine being able to trace exactly who accessed what information and when.
Especially for companies dealing with regulations like IPA or GDPR.
Huge. Yeah.
It takes the guesswork out of compliance.
For
So we've seen what Treasure Map does,
Right.
but who are the brains behind this operation?
Yeah.
What's the story behind the company itself?
Well, they've assembled a leadership team that's incredibly experienced.
Okay.
We're talking decades of experience in fields like tech business strategy,
Wow.
finance and project management.
So it's not just like a group of tech enthusiasts.
It's not just coders in a basement.
Right.
They have the business acumen to understand the practical challenges.
That definitely instills a sense of confidence.
Absolutely.
And their mission statement really resonates.
Yeah,
They're not just building a product. They're on a mission to create a virtual shield
that's great.
against the ever-increasing threat of cybercrime and data vulnerability.
I love that.
They want to empower businesses to operate in the digital world without constantly looking over their shoulder.
Right.
It's not just about profit.
It's not.
They seem genuinely driven by a desire to make the digital world a safer place
Yeah,
for businesses to thrive.
absolutely.
And it seems like they're really committed to listening to user feedback
Yes.
and adapting to evolving needs.
That focus on user feedback is critical.
Yeah.
It reminds me of companies that failed because they were too focused on their own vision
Right.
and they ignored what their users actually needed.
Yeah.
Treasure Map seems to be learning from those past mistakes.
It's like they're saying, we're on this journey together. Let's figure out the best way to protect your information.
Exactly.
And that collaborative approach is reflected in their emphasis on creating a secure, contained environment.
Yes.
This has the potential to be truly groundbreaking for industries dealing with extremely sensitive data,
It does.
like healthcare or finance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but every tech company claims to be innovative.
Right.
What makes Treasure Map stand out from the crowd?
Well, for starters, their permission-based sharing is taken to a whole new level.
Okay.
It's not just about giving someone access to a folder. You can control access down to specific documents,
Hold
even
on.
individual pages within a document.
Wow.
And you can set those time limits we talked about. Right.
Give someone access for 24 hours a week, whatever's appropriate.
It's like having a digital bouncer
Yeah,
who checks IDs at the door of every single file.
exactly.
No more wondering if someone still has access to sensitive data weeks after they needed it.
Right.
That's a game changer.
And then there's their customizable API.
Okay.
Now, this might sound a bit technical, but what it means is that Treasure Map can seamlessly integrate with a whole bunch of other tools your business already uses.
So like,
The project management software, CRM systems, cloud storage.
so instead of having data scattered across different platforms with varying levels of security,
Right.
you could potentially centralize everything
Precisely.
within Treasure Map's secure ecosystem.
It's about bringing all your valuable assets under one roof,
Yeah.
so to speak, and managing them with a consistent level of protection. And here's where it gets really fascinating.
Okay.
Their long-term plan involves integrating artificial intelligence.
Okay, now we're talking future of data protection.
What could AI bring to the table?
Imagine a system that's constantly learning and adapting to new threats.
Okay.
AI could be used to automate security checks, detect suspicious activity in real time,
So it's like,
and even predict potential vulnerabilities before they're exploited. It's like having a digital security guard that never sleeps.
that level of proactive protection could be a game changer, especially for businesses that can't afford to have a dedicated cybersecurity team,
Absolutely.
monitoring everything 24/7.
And let's not forget, one of the biggest concerns people have about new technology is cost.
Yeah, for sure.
But Treasure Map is designed to be scalable,
Yeah.
with different pricing tiers to fit businesses of all sizes.
So even a small startup with a limited budget can benefit from this level of data protection.
That's right. They're not just catering to large corporations, they're trying to make enterprise-grade security accessible to everyone.
I like that.
That's a powerful concept. Democratizing data protection, ensuring that everyone has the tools to safeguard their valuable information.
Now, I'm hearing a lot of positives here, but let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
Sure.
Are there any potential downsides or challenges that businesses should be aware of?
Well, like with any new system, there's always a learning curve.
Yeah.
Getting everyone on board and trained on the platform might take some time.
Right, especially for teams that aren't as tech savvy.
Exactly. And because it's still in beta, there might be some features that need fine-tuning or additional development.
Sure, it's like those early versions of software.
Right.
You see the potential, but there are always a few glitches to iron out.
Exactly. But that's also part of the excitement of being an early adopter.
Right.
Treasure Map seems incredibly open to user feedback.
Yeah.
So businesses who jump in now have a chance to shape the development of the platform
Okay.
and ensure it meets their specific needs.
It's like being part of a pioneering expedition.
Yeah.
Charting the course for the future of data security, and speaking of the future, the whole blockchain landscape is still evolving.
Yeah.
There could be regulatory changes down the line that impact how companies like Treasure Map operate.
The regulatory environment around blockchain is still taking shape.
Right.
So it's important to stay informed about any potential shifts that could affect how data is managed and secured.
It's a reminder that the world of technology never stands still.
Yeah.
There's always something new on the horizon.
That's why it's so important to stay engaged, have these conversations, and explore solutions like Treasure Map that are pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Well said. Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into Treasure Map, I have one final burning question for you.
Okay.
What was the most surprising thing you learned about the platform? What really made you go, wow, I didn't expect that?
Honestly, what surprised me the most was how simple and intuitive the platform is to use.
Really?
They've taken this complex technology blockchain and made it accessible to anyone.
Wow.
Regardless of their technical expertise, it's not intimidating.
Right.
It's empowering.
I agree. It's like they've taken something that could have been overly complicated and made it user-friendly.
Exactly.
Which is key for any technology that's designed for widespread adoption.
And that's the key takeaway here.
Yeah.
Treasure Map isn't just about fancy tech or buzzwords. It's about solving a real-world problem, data security,
Right.
in a way that's both effective and easy to use. They found a way to bridge the gap between complex technology and practical application.
Well said. And I think that perfectly sums up our exploration of Treasure Map.
Yeah.
We've seen how they're leveraging the power of blockchain to create a secure, efficient, and user-friendly platform for protecting valuable business information.
And they're doing it with a team that's experienced, mission-driven, and committed to meeting the evolving needs of their users.
Absolutely. But before we set you free to explore Treasure Map on your own, we want to leave you with a thought-provoking question to ponder one that might just shift your perspective on data security altogether.
Let's hear it.
Imagine a world where all your valuable information is secured, like with the same level of protection that Treasure Map offers. Not just like your business contracts and financial records, but like your personal medical history, your creative projects, those irreplaceable family photos.
Wow.
Everything tucked away in a digital vault.
Right.
Safe from prying eyes and malicious attacks.
It's a powerful vision.
Yeah, think about the peace of mind.
Yeah.
That would come with knowing that your most sensitive data is truly protected.
For sure.
It could fundamentally change how we interact online, how we do business, how we live our lives.
It raises so many interesting questions, like how would this impact trust in online platforms? Would it foster greater collaboration and innovation if people felt more secure sharing their ideas and creations?
Right.
Could it even lead to a more equitable digital landscape?
Yeah.
Where everyone has the same level of protection, regardless of their technical skills or resources.
It's a fascinating thought experiment.
It is.
And it's one that Treasure Map is actively working towards.
Yeah.
They're not just building a product.
Right.
They're trying to shift the paradigm of data security, making it a fundamental right rather than a luxury.
I love that.
It's an exciting time to be following the evolution of data security, and Treasure Map is definitely a company to watch.
For sure.
They're not just riding the wave of blockchain innovation, they're actively shaping it, creating a more secure and empowering digital future for all of us.
So as you navigate the ever-evolving world of data, remember that you have options.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a passive bystander in the face of increasing threats.
Right.
Solutions like Treasure Map are emerging, and they're worth exploring.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Treasure Map.
Yes.
We hope you've gained some valuable insights and perhaps even a renewed sense of optimism about the future of data security.
Absolutely.
Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay secure.